Hi, how are you? Well, today we are going to talk about how you can use food as medicine because most people do not understand that actually food can be used as medicine. Now, when you talk about food, I think maybe the kind of food I'm talking about and the kind of food you're thinking about may be world apart. So you'll find that when you talk about food, I think first look at animals in the wild. They're the best examples of animals who are utilizing the power of food as medicine. You'll find that human beings have to rely on drugs, have to rely on supplements so that they can be able to fend off diseases, chronic diseases and so on. But you'll find that animals in the wild, they do not need supplementations and they do not need drugs to live. If you look at the lions, the giraffes, the apes, the antelopes, they are so healthy. If you look at them, they do not have hospitals. They don't have healthcare workers. They have no admissions. They have no vaccinations. But if you look at them, they are more healthier than we human beings. You'll also find that these animals themselves, they live a rather healthy life. So the question is, what is the difference between the foods the animals eat and the food which a human being eats? And a human being is also an animal. And when you go back to the book of Genesis, the beginning, the Adam and Eve, they used to stay in the wild with the other animals also. So they were eating the same food as those animals. And during those times is when you can see that people who are living in terms of thousands and so on, people lived for long. But during our time, people are living long but living a life whereby they are very sick. Many people are surviving on pills. That is what's keeping them alive. If you put them off the pills and machines, they are gone. So the question is, how can we use nature or food to heal or prevent, to halt or to reverse diseases? First, I would like to talk about what we mean by food. I think the foods that were prescribed for us can be found, say, in the book of Genesis at the beginning, for those who read the Bible and other books where the book of Genesis appears. When God made this world, He prescribed foods for every animal. And I think for man, we are told to eat plants, basically. That is vegetables, fruits, grains, seeds, and nuts. Those were the foods. Nothing else was prescribed there. Now, through research and analysis of these vegetables, fruits, nuts, and grains, and so on, scientists have discovered that actually these things contain a lot of nutrients. They have a lot of vitamins. They have proteins. They have carbohydrates. They have fats and oils. And they have things known as phytonutrients. And of course, our labs are still not yet that much advanced. In the next 200, 300, 500 years, we'll have more sophisticated equipment which can be able to reveal more about these things. But currently, at the level of development where we are told that these components, they contain things known as antioxidants. antioxidants are very powerful components which, when we consume them, they help prevent our body from getting oxidized. That is, oxidation, I think many may not understand. I'll give you an example, say rusting. Iron, generally when there's water and oxygen, you'll see rust forming. So that rusting of the iron. So our cells also get damaged by things known as free radicals. So these free radicals generally lack some electrons. So they look for something to attach to, and they can be able to attach and destroy our body cells. And of course, if our body cells are destroyed, that will be the genesis of destructions of tissues, organs, and of course, our systems in the bodies will not function effectively. And that will be the genesis of disease. So the formation of free radicals in the body has been discovered to be one of the sources of most of the diseases that afflicts man. So you find that in these foods which were described in the book of Genesis, they contain bountiful of components which, if consumed, can neutralize those free radicals, such that things like cancer may be put aside, diabetes, arthritis, and other inflammatory syndromes, other inflammatory conditions will not go away. And you can also prevent them through that consumption. So, if you want to use food as medicine, I will suggest to you that look at the plate you have before you. Does it contain those things in the book of Genesis? If there are things which are not there, can you put them aside? Because you should know already those things which you have added into your diet, which are not in that group, possibly could be the things which are damaging your body, could be the source of your disease. So, basically then, it basically means that our diseases, we create them ourselves through diet, through lifestyle. And of course, our lifestyle is a product of our thinking. The way different communities or groups of people think will influence their lifestyle, including their diet, their cooking methods, and so on. Now you'll find that most of the foods we are eating right now are processed. They are refined. The correct meaning of processing and refining means removal. There are things which are being removed, known and unknown. There are things which are in those vegetables, fruits, grains, which our equipments at this time cannot be able to see. But during the refinement process, we are removing them and throwing them or using them as animal feeds. So basically it means the human being of this age currently, the grains we're eating right now, the grains which our forefathers ate, whole grains, they are different. Their nutritional value is different. Ours has deficiencies. And of course, a community that eats foods that is deficient suffers from malnutrition. To be malnourished basically means that your body is lacking some components, vital components, for it to function normally and also to carry out repair work and prevent disease and also help the body resist disease. So we can see that the process of processing and refinement, even though they prolong the shelf life of those products, but they also there is a double-edged sword. On the other side also is promoting malnourishment. So I can say that our society currently is highly malnourished. Groups of people who are consuming processed and refined foods in huge amount are actually malnourished because they are lacking things which were removed from those foods. So their immune system is questionable. Their energy levels are also questionable. Then what's the end result? You'll have a myriad of diseases manifesting in those people's bodies. Yeah. There'll be diseases which cannot be explained. What is causing them, it cannot be explained and cannot be solved by tablets, because conventional medicine is a standard health practice. You'll be given tablets to sort out your signs and symptoms. Then what does that imply? It may imply that you have to take those tablets for life. Why? Because you're not answering the nutritional deficiency. You're not consuming whole foods so that you can get that thing that is being removed. That thing that is being removed, that processed, refined, that thing which is being removed, that could be the answer to your problem. It could be able to change your life. It could be able to cure your disease. It could be able to make you become immune to these chronic diseases, or what you're calling right now lifestyle diseases. Lifestyle basically means is the way you live. So you're living a lifestyle of processing and refined foods. Therefore, the diseases you're going to develop will be different from your forefathers. And of course, you have the power to change. But you're told, my people die due to lack of knowledge in the scripture books. And that is what's happening. People are dying because of lack of knowledge. Processed foods, refined foods are so sweet. People have become sugar addicts, sweetness. People want everything to taste sweet. Anything that is bitter, they want it processed, that bitterness to be removed. But you'll find that bitter component could be the one that could make you prevent your cancer. It could be the one that could cure your cancer. It could be the one that could cure your diabetes, your arthritis, what you're suffering from. So if those bitterness or those things you don't want are removed, then you're going to have a deficiency of those things that were removed. Yeah? And you're going to suffer diseases as a consequence of missing out on those things that were removed from your food. And so these diseases are also going to bewilder the medical community, because they don't know what this disease is. But it is from processing, eating processed foods. And as a result of that, that's why you find that supplements have to be sold so that people can eat the sweet things, the processed and the refined foods, and then you go and buy supplements because you're lacking in calcium, vitamin A, vitamin C's. You try to get them through supplements. How can you eat food which, if you could have bought the whole food and eaten it whole, it could supply you with those components so that you do not need supplementation? Then what do? You have the food processed, those vital nutrients are removed. Then you go and buy tablets or pills to supplement what was removed. And of course, the original is the best. The original source is nature's source, which is the food. The supplement is man-made. Even though they say they've got it from fruits, vegetables, those are extracts. What you extract also means something is missing. There are things you omitted out. If you pick fruits and you extract beta-carotene or vitamin A out of it, and you make capsules out of it, you say it's from a fruit. But that fruit, the apple, possibly where you got it from, or carrot, it did not only have vitamin A, it had vitamin E, it had other components, it had other other minerals in it, and other things we've never discovered, balancing everything. They're working as a team. So by supplementing only a single tablet, my friend, you still have a problem. There are other things missing, and we don't know as human beings what is missing. What did we remove in the processing process? Nobody knows. We only want that the end product is admired by the customer so that we make the money that we want. So actually, business nowadays is we say it's to satisfy the customer's needs, wants, and desires. So if the customer's mouth wants something that is sweet, then remove the bitter component. Then the customer will buy and you make your money. So it's more or less about business, not about health. And that's why many people are sick. Because the businesses are responding to your needs and desires. Whereby your needs and desires, you want things which are sweet, things which are sugary. The more sugary the thing, the more you'll buy it. And what is sugar? Sugar is an empty nutrient. It's got from sugarcane. So what do? They process it. So when they process it, we lose a lot of nutrients from that sugarcane. So you have the sugar now very white on your plate, but it's nutritionally empty. So what happens? It has no fiber. When you take that sugar, once it enters your bloodstream, it enters so fast. Your blood sugar levels go so high, such that your pancreas will be overworked. Every time it has to release a lot of insulin. So over time, what happens? There can be a jam in the switch, and it will not release that insulin. So what happens? You're a diabetic. The sugar is converted to fat. Not the good fat, the bad fat. And that fat will be deposited in your arteries. You'll get arteriosclerosis. And what happens next with the clogging of your arteries? You're a candidate for heart attack. You're a candidate for high blood pressure. You're a candidate for stroke. Why? Because of the sugar. Processed sugar. Why don't you eat the sugar cane? Where you get all those components as a team. The neutralizers will all be there. The goalkeepers, the players, the midfield, they are all in the sugar cane complete. When you process the sugar cane, you pick the goalkeeper alone. You put in a packet of sugar. A goalkeeper alone cannot play a football match. You need the whole 11 players and then the sugar cane. They are not in the packet of sugar. In the packet of sugar could be only one player. So that one player becomes very dangerous because the person is trying to play all the positions in the field. And one of them, it will cause havoc in your body. But nature knew that that player should not work alone, should work with other 10 in the sugarcane. So that when you take it, everything is balanced. Your body will be at peace. Your insulin levels, you just release the adequate amount as normal. It's just like a light switch. If you put the switch on, the light bulb goes on. If you put it off, it goes off. Now you start playing around with it, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. A point will reach whereby even if you try to put it off, the light will be on. That represents insulin being removed, being secreted in your blood. So if you continue sugar, and so many other things, a point reaches whereby your system fails. It can no longer cope. So there'll be a jam. Just the way your light switch can jam. If you want your light switch to survive, you need to use it slowly. Put it on, off, with respect. But on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, that thing is going to jam in a place where the light will just be on. So you have to do what? Replace the switch. Now you cannot replace your pancreas. Thank you very much. At least what I just wanted to bring to your notice is that eat whole foods and you'll benefit with all the nutrients, and those nutrients have got healing properties. You can see a miracle in your life. The disease that has been affecting you, cancer, diabetes, arthritis, allergies, etc., can be able to go, can be able to be reversed, can be able to be halted. Your life will be changed. Because because there's medicine in food. Food, medicine. Medicine is food. Animals are doing it in the bush. Look at the animals. Visit the wild. So impressive. You see 1,000 of them, but they're all healthy. None has diabetes, arthritis, all these things you're talking about. Why? They eat in the fields. They eat things which are raw, the way it is, no cooking. And you should also understand also cooking itself, heat destroys the nutrients again in the whole foods. When you cook your vegetables, heat, you destroy, there's some enzymes, some other things which are so sensitive to heat. So at the end of the day, when you eat that food, it is empty. It's nutritionally empty. So if you're expecting healing from that cooked food, I'm sorry, there'll be nothing. So to get healing, make juices of raw vegetables, raw vegetables, and so on. Add seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, and so on. Eat them, drink them. Try to eat your food as raw as possible. Possibly steam, just 3 minutes is enough. But know that you're destroying some of the active principles and the enzymes. So the raw, you can eat it like the animals. The animals are eating everything raw. They don't cook. Human beings are the only animals who cook their food. Apes, our closest relatives, don't cook their foods. And look at them, they're so healthy because everything they eat, they get 100% of the nutrients, plus enzymes which are live. But human beings, we cook our foods until we destroy everything. So every time we supply less nutrients from the food we are eating. And that's why, and could be that thing that is missing, could be the missing link in curing your disease, in preventing you from getting diseases and so on. So thank you very much. Kindly prescribe to my channel, hit the bell down there, so that every day when I release a video, you'll be alerted. And it's free. Have a nice day.